Hey guys, so welcome back to another video. Today we're going to add more features. But the first thing I want to address is that, as you can see here, we have various user different. We have split the structs, the how our data is going to be stored in the database. So due to this, when you are implementing search, you have to use something called the dot notations. As you can see here, for personal, if I'm going to search using personal, full name, and so on. So I have implemented that. Of course, let's test it out and ensure that it's working. So as you can see here, we have a user called Clinton. I can just search Clinton. And it's working. And add that one, and you can see it's not working. The ID number starts with 3.324. And then I add another number. Won't work. It's working, of course, and returning because it has not found it anything. So I'm going to add another button here so that we can see more details, because currently, and of course I also need to implement the account, but first let's implement the other button. So of course we're going to come here to the view section. I'm going to add a button here, so let me just copy this. Just going to call it more, and of course it's going to say horizontal, more horizontal icon, and I can add it here. Okay, and then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to copy this. This is going to be 2. This is going to be more. Okay, and I also need to copy that and just call it more. And then this one I'm going to maybe show more details view. Okay, so this one we only need these two. Okay, I'm going to implement it. Let's come down. More details view. I'm going to have a window. Find that window. So we're going to have member. Models dot member. So the reason I want to display this, it's because you realize that in this model we have so many details, so we can display them using a different window for the purpose of maybe uh, more viewing. So we're going to implement that. And one thing you should know is when you're displaying, I also want to display this passport, or the passport, this passport image here, this passport image. So I'm just going to initialize some things here. going to define a function that's going to load a default image in case you don't have a passport. I'm just going to, in case they don't find the image, just going to return the canvas image. So we're going to load this image from the logo image, just in case there is no log, because there's no passport image for that particular one. So we're going to load the image from the assets folder. So if the member .personal .passport it's not empty, you have to process it and open it. So that means the passport exists, we just have to open it. Because we handle the errors. So if there is an error, instead of displaying it, we're just going to load the default image, which is the log. Otherwise, if there is no error, we have to defer closing the file. Then you have to process it. First decoding it. Make sure that there is no error. Otherwise, if there is an error, same thing happens. We load the image. Else, if there is no error, display the image. So in case if there is any kind of error, I want to display the error. I don't want to display the error. I want to display the default log so that I can avoid displaying that information to the user. I have to set the size of the image because I want to display the image on one side and the details on the other side, like horizontal. I want to make sure that when somebody is using the app, can be able to view the details, the passport photo of the member and the details, of course. I can start displaying the details, and these details are going to be on the right side. So I'm just going to use a container, new, with columns. So I just want it to be 2 columns. Now I want to display the extra details that are not visible in the actual application. So that is going to be the placeholder, like the text and the value on the right side, so that they are horizontal. It's going to use a new box. It's going to have a widget, new. Or we can have maybe the gender, because it's not visible in the normal view. Maybe heading. Then I just want it to be bold. Just want it to be bold. I'm just going to use label to get the details. Now it's going to be member dot personal dot gender. So I'm going to combine these two. I'm going to combine the image, say content, going to have the image file, the details on the right, and finally I'm just going to choose a dialog. Just say cancel, and the content is going to be this one. Put in the window. Okay, so let's test this. Yeah, so the button has been added. Now when you open it, you should be able to get maybe gender, any other details. So this is going to be the profile picture. Maybe I can try changing it. Let me change it. Use my image. Next, and then submit. Yes, everything is working out fine. Apart from the gender, what else can we display there? I can just come here, move this down, let's copy it. We can display the date of birth. Can also display maybe ID number, identification, well, because this is government issued. Maybe the employment type. Type. payment type, is it? It's there. Payment type, maybe the employer. We can also add email. This is just going to be under contacts, contact email, and we can also include maybe the next of kin. Okay. Let's go to next of kin full name. Okay, let's run this and see. Everything else is working fine. I want to work on this account so that when you're adding a new member, somebody selects the employment, the account type should be able to generate the account number. For simplicity, I'm just going to generate maybe numbers from all the way from maybe 1 and so maybe 001 or something like that. So I want to ensure that the numbers can increment so that when the first member has been added, has been generated an account, the next one should get the next account number. So to ensure that works perfectly, we need to store the previous account number so that we can be able to increment it from there. So to do that, I'm just going to use JSON. So I'm just going to find a struct here that's going to hold maybe the last account number. Going to be called as a JSON. Let's call it last number. So what I'm going to today, I'm going to define a function here that is going to be reading and writing into that JSON file. So if it exists, maybe jump it or something. Let's call it next. So the first thing we are going to grab is the okay, and what we're going to return is going to be a string. Now that string, of course, is going to be account number with an error, so that we can be able to handle cases where it does not generate the next number. Okay, so first we have to check if the file exists. If it does, we're going to grab that number and increment it, but if it doesn't exist, we create a new one. it's going to be in the sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For now I can stick to maybe 1,000,000 accounts. Otherwise, if the file exists, we're going to just if there is an error reading that file, then we're not going to return any account number. It's going to return an error. Okay, next we're going to convert the last sequence number that we're reading, and then we convert it into an integer. Okay. We're converting it from a string to an integer, because we defined it as a string, of course. So we're going to run an error. Valid account number. If we cannot convert it, and then we're going to increment it. So as if it exists, I'm just going to keep on incrementing if the file exists. So we have to ensure that after we have generated that new account, that is going to be the latest last account. So that when we come to the next one, and be able to generate the next. So basically, in summary, what I'm trying to do here, I just want to ensure that if when I'm adding a new user, the person operating the application should be able to get the account should be auto generated, to avoid the idea of maybe starting thinking of, oh, I should generate the account. What account should I give you? The point. So the app should be able to auto generate those accounts. Of course, in a real bank, when this application, now each bank can customize. They can customize their account numbers, but in this case, we're just going to be doing it. They can be customized maybe by branch name, something else. So now I'm going to come here to form. I'm going to scroll down here to account type. The account also, when I click the account tab, the account number should be, just going to say account type. Account type, oh, but on change, I mean to be a function. Then once it's clicked, I want to now generate that number. I'm just going to say account number because there's an error. Okay, so the function is called what? Use next account number in the path. I'm just going to supply the name there, and maybe call it account numbers, or maybe just account numbers, just account number, maybe .json. Okay, because if error, I have to handle the error, and maybe log. But println, maybe error. I can just log in there. Then I'm going to say account number with set text. Set text to. Okay, so let's test it out, see if it's working. So I have the details here. We can view this, and then I'm going to come here at editing, then I'm going to go next account. If I click on account, yeah. Okay. Submit images required. Every time you edit it, you have to. Hey, so you've noticed when I click on different accounts, it's changing the account number. So you submit that, and now we have an account number. So when you come here, adding, it's going to select the account number. When you're adding a user, you should be able to get all those details. So basically, those are the features I wanted to add today. So I'll need to add a new button here. I want the users to be able to export all these users along with their details to an Excel sheet. I think that would be a great feature to add. I think that should be the next thing I should be adding. So guys, thank you, and see you in the next video.